do not join a sorority.
So you would think that hazing doesn't happen anymore.
Organizations founded on being exclusionary can never be inclusive.
The sorority that I was formerly a part of, horrifically hazed, lots of abuse.
Several sororities got shut down during recruitment because of hazing practices.
You're telling me that I could pay money to a historically racist organization so that I can be found naked on the front lawn of a frat house?
This is unbelievable. At my school, my friend rushed a sorority in one of their hazing things where they had to strip down naked. This is a common thing. Sit on a piece of newspaper on top of a running washer and watch lesbian porn. If there was anything on the newspaper after, you got dropped.
As we know, a lot of these sororities and fraternities are deeply embedded in racism, classism, and white supremacy. In fact, it's the reason why African Americans had to create the Divine Nine, all of the black sororities and fraternities.
No smiling. We were never allowed to smile. We also were not allowed to tell sisters no if they told us to do something. That none of these rules were in place to keep us safe. They were all in place to manipulate us, control us, and just have total power over us.
Rumor had it that many girls got herpes as a result. Another one forced girls so drunk, so much alcohol, that a handful got alcohol poisoning, had to be sent to the hospital. So choose between either doing hard drugs or hooking up with somebody that you don't even know.
And the incidence of sexual assault is insane in Greek life. One time in chapter, we did an activity where you had to stand if either you or someone you knew had ever been sexually assaulted. There were 180 people in that room and every single person stood up.
This involves, again, women stripping down naked for a hockey team and entertaining them. And the hockey team has to approve of the new pledges.
Pledges were also not allowed to sit on couches or chairs. We had to sit on the floor because we were literally and physically beneath them.
Bonding through excruciating experiences, it's almost like trauma bonding.
I had to literally hire a lawyer because my sorority tried to scam me. We had a chapter meeting where they said, if you plan on studying abroad, don't sign a full lease, sign a half lease. Perfect, beautiful, gorgeous. Fast forward, I'm studying abroad. I'm thinking all is well when I get hit with a $3,000 fine from my sorority. And at my university, the sorority is allowed to bill your university bill. What this means is that if I don't pay my sorority charge, I'm not allowed to sign up for classes.
Yes, the slideshow thing is absolutely real. They literally show pictures of these girls like it's tender, and they stand up and say, I don't like this girl because of this, and if some girl stands up and doesn't like you, you are out.
We would rip girls apart with those slides. It was inherently sexist. We slut-shamed a lot of people. There was even a code word for it, well-traveled, so that way we could say it without nationals getting upset.
I don't care what people say, it is totally determined by looks. Yes, you could meet a girl and really vibe with her, but they are looking for pretty girls that will make their chapter look good.
I just saw a TikTok comment that was like, well, if your whole sorority went to a plantation party, what are you gonna do, not go? Yes, I'm not gonna go.
There are plenty of organizations that have it written in their statutes that black people weren't able to join, that anyone non-white was not able to join.
I felt like a lot of the girls were just not seeing me because I wasn't white.
I vividly remember being in a rush meeting and seeing every single woman of color be called aggressive.
You know when you can just tell that they're not interested in you and they didn't really care about what you had to say? That's kind of how I felt.
So I guess my question is, why choose a white one? For me, I would feel extremely unsafe, especially if I was living in the sorority house. We hear horror stories all the time about black girls being racially attacked by their white roommates and so on.
I felt like I was trying to prove my whiteness to them versus some girl who's from the middle of nowhere they had no problem giving their time of day.
I used to live in the house, which is decorated with all of the composites since its founding, and in the almost 30 years, there has not been a single member of color at all.
Greek life is inherently classist because it costs so much money to be a part of it. Dues are expensive.
Dues when you don't live in the house are like $700, which is also like, what the f***, you're paying for friends.
They only exist so that rich people can network more efficiently.
As a result, you don't see a lot of economic diversity in Pan-Hellenic or IFC organizations.
I don't give a flying f*** if your sorority was the best thing that happened to you. Reading these types of stories, hearing this type of shit, there is a clear problem.
And I personally don't think it needs to exist for the purpose of making friends, because you can make friends in clubs.
Not everyone's sorority or fraternity experience is bad. There can be good that comes out of it, but I believe that the system as a whole is corrupt.